Welcome everyone to the Architecture Society AGM. I'm Celine, the current co-president for 2020 and also the president from 2019. We're joined by the Archsoc 2020 team, Jared, David, Jono, Gray, Jackie, M, Remo, Ivy. Yes, I think that's everyone. And yeah, so what we're going to be doing, our agenda for tonight is that we will be covering what the Architecture Society did for the past year, what was our mission and vision, our goals, what we spent, and then we'll be voting in next year's team. And next slide, please.
And everyone, please remember, if you haven't done so, I'm on it. Please remember to, please enter your username, your name and ZID into the chat so that we can take your attendance too.
Yeah, and yeah, let's get to it. So next slide, please. So I'll just cover what our mission and vision was for 2019. This is a year where we sort of started from scratch, and we had little to no engagement with the society at this point. We didn't have much money either, so our three goals were to increase society awareness. So we totally revamped our social media and our aesthetic, and we wanted to also engage with the faculty of the built environment. We wanted to start looking at industry and education as a means to engage students. So we introduced lecture series, we started with workshops, and we also started engaging external relations as well. And a really important part of our engagement within the faculty was a relationship with the Built Environment Student Association. So that was 2019's mission and vision. Next slide, please. So for 2020, we wanted to build on the vision from 2019. We gained a lot more engagement with students. We reached over 1,000 likes on Facebook. And through that, our 2020 vision was to remain consistent with what we were doing, and increasing our overall event attendance, creating regular meetings. So we worked on our workshops and we introduced our Discord channel for 2020, and just overall refining our social media presence and aesthetic. Next slide, please. So some notable achievements that we got in 2020 was that we managed to fully sponsor all our freebies from O Week. So we spent nothing on what we gave out for O Week. So we managed to get, thanks to MLAN, ThinkBrick, Me Goreng, Red Bull, and Student VIP to sponsor us from O Week. We ran our third ever internal competition, and that was the Hoodie Competition, our first being the logo, second being Hoodie Competition, and third being 2020's Hoodie Competition. We definitely had a dramatic increase in external relations, and that's due to the fact that we amended our constitution in 2019 to introduce the External Relations Officer position, and our wonderful first ever External Relations Officer, MLAN, did a really good job with engaging other firms and speakers to give our community talks, and that was really great. And because of that, in 2020, we had a 25% increase in overall attendance, which is pretty good. And overall, we had inter-uni engagement with our design competition. We have a Minecraft server up. We've also improved our relations with the Built Environment Student Association, and that was through the Minecraft server, and we had a small games night at the beginning of the year. So that was really good. Next slide, please. So we're just gonna review what we did in 2020 just by events and what our team did. So next slide, please. So term one was a really, really good start. Because of the ball that was rolling with O Week, and next slide, please. We had a whole bunch of things lined up. We were really excited from last year to get things going, not knowing that we were going to go into a global pandemic. No big deal. But next slide, please. So before the year started, we thought it would be good to reward the current team with executive t-shirts. So we had a little design up done by Ivy, and we were planning to push this out as society merch, but never really got to do that. So this is just an exec thing for 2020. But we wore these for O Week, so we were easily identifiable. Next slide, please. So for O Week, we managed to get 234 signups. It was a really huge success because we saved a lot of money, and we had a good time packing everything and talking to people at the stall. That's always good. And we gathered a lot of interest in the society as well because we were recruiting subcom during O Week. Next slide, please. We also made vast improvements on the overall aesthetic. So in 2019, it was a little bit more darker and serious. And in 2020, Ivy did a facelift for our aesthetic, and we got a really cute, sort of fun, approachable aesthetic going. And we also redesigned the keychains. Unfortunately, we couldn't find the design for last year's keychains, but that was really fun, done by Jared. Next slide, please. And then the first event that we ever ran this year was the Welcome Barbecue. So that was aimed towards allowing the first years to meet up before their first classes, and that was really nice. It was a really big success because, yeah, we did manage to meet a couple first years, and we overall got some really great positive reviews from them. Next slide, please. And then after the barbecue, we ran our hoodie competition, and the winner was Ivy from our media director. No bias. This was randomly sort of anonymously voted on. So we sold 47 hoodies, which is not as much as we did the year before, but we still gained a profit of 360, and that is because of the situation with COVID. Instead of in-person pickups at uni, we instead shipped them out, and we decided that because of the low numbers, it wasn't worth having a second release of the hoodies. Just because overall the timeline was a little bit late. So we decided that we wouldn't continue production with these hoodies. Next slide, please. And then we kicked off all our workshops that we did in T1s with SketchUp, Rhino, which our numbers in terms of attendance was not severely affected, I think, even though we swapped to Discord. We did a really quick change to Discord because we realized that we needed a platform to use to run these workshops and keep the community together. So and we also managed to sort of pull together all our information that we learned from our first few workshops that we ran, so that we could deliver them better to the students in terms of content and interaction. So all in all these workshops will also move to YouTube based on feedback, and that has been really great as well. And that's the end of T1.
All right, so then we move on to T2. And of course, at this stage now, everything was completely online. So that was the next challenge for us. We'd already started transitioning everything. But we really kicked into gear and we were able to organize quite a lot of events. So as you can see, week 5 through to week 7, we had almost every week we had a workshop or a lecture, again, because of Em so fabulously bringing in industry leaders, which was great. We had the inter-uni quarantine competition and also the Minecraft competition, and this was in collaboration with other universities and their respective architecture societies. So this is the first year that we've ever done something like this, where actually we reached out to these other unis and we were like, hey, let's do something. Obviously, we did this at the beginning of the year and we were going to have some in-person events, but obviously that never happened. But then that led to the creation of this design competition, which was extremely successful. We ended up having around about $900 worth in prizes. We had 4 incredible panelists from C+C, as well as the UCID faculty and our faculty. We had Philip Oldfield, and they were extremely impressed with the quality and creativity of the works. And so it was quite difficult in order, obviously, with the trimesters and semesters, trying to balance that. We definitely had some issues, but I think all in all it came together, and this could be the start of a new type of relationship where we're able to kind of integrate the different communities or university communities a little bit more. And we also tried to build up our Discord as a place that people not only come to us for our lectures, but can meet more socially and generally whenever they want to. And with amazing help from David and Jackie, who know all the Discord wizardry, and we're able to set up a great place with all these different groups. So look, attendance was a little bit slow and spotty over the term, but I think we've developed it as a place that can definitely be used more in the future, and we're very confident in it as well. And the lectures, of course, we had some great lectures. We had from ThinkBrick, who sponsored our bags, so we continued our relationship with them. We had what else did we have? Oh, about 27 people there. The Cox lecture was our largest attendance ever at 230 people. And this is because Cox had invited over professionals who were watching as well. And they were hosting the Zoom there. But we had 160 from UNSW, and this was just incredible attendance on our part as well. I think it's the first time we also got like a major company that like is that big to be able to come and engage with us. So that was really special as well. We had Melanie Bale-Smith, who talked to us about cover letters, and she works at UNSW, so some of the students already know her. She was fabulous in advising, how we can look forward in terms of getting jobs in the workplace, and Catherine Liu with her architectural photography. And so this is obviously trying to establish a network, a professional network for our students in terms of bringing industry to them. And we thought that we had such a variety in this term, which was really fantastic to hear from. And we continued our workshops as well. So just continuing to build upon the skills that we did from last year in terms of the basics, plus a little bit more in terms of some of those specialized skills or tips and tricks that you wouldn't necessarily hear of. So for SketchUp rendering, Photoshop, and InDesign. We also, for the first time, had our master's student Kieran give a workshop on video editing, which was quite different too, and how he was using that approach in his master's. So obviously there are lots of different avenues that people can explore. And so with this workshop, not necessarily teaching people how to do something, but showing them the possibilities, which is also a very important part of it, inspiring you guys to be able to learn too. T3, so the term that we're currently in, our final term as executives, but we wanted to make sure that we kept the ball rolling, and then of course we have our handover, which is what we're doing now. So again, continuing the lecture series and the workshop series, and again we had a different approach for the workshop series this year. So with our lectures, we've had 2 of them already this year, so 10 Things I Didn't Learn in Architecture School from Sarah Lebner, which was very interesting. And then we had Cox come and join us again. So it was really great to see that they wanted to come back, and they brought in someone to talk about parametric sketching, and that was fabulous to see some of the really complex things that are happening out in the professional world. So there was a good attendance again, about 72 people, and 30 of those through UNSW. So again, Cox inviting other people, but that was okay with us. We've still got more lectures planned for the future too of this term. And our workshops. So our dynamic duo, Kieran and Curtis, it was a lot of fun to have them working together. We wish we'd been able to bring them sooner in the term, but we're glad that we finally got a chance to do that this term. And they talked about architectural precedents and architectural communication, and obviously they have really interesting perspectives and really interesting work that they were able to share with all of our students. And the Q&As at the end of these two sessions were, I think, really great and inspiring as well, being that we could directly talk to them as master's students. So we had about 19 people in the first one, 32 people in the second one, so pretty good attendance as well. And as I said, we have planned a couple more events for the end of this term, so stay tuned. All right, now I'm going to hand over to Jackie, who is our treasurer for this year. So he's going to give a treasurer's report.
Alrighty. Hello guys, I am the current treasurer, or soon to be ex-treasurer of the Architecture Society. And let's kick into gear of what it is to spend money, or save money rather, in our society. So to begin, just going over the graph and comparing the trends between last year and this year, we see that straight off the get-go, our starting balance is significantly higher this year versus last year, and so is our ending balance. For O-Week spending and T1 barbecue, the welcome barbecue, saw a similar change in the graphs. And as for our merchandises, like our Archsoc hoodies, it's similarly making profits. Obviously, the inter-uni design competition also gave us a profit, and I will explain further on for why that is the case. And in following suggestions from last year, our T1 barbecue costs were kept below $50, and therefore you can see there was a slight increase in profits. So next page, please. So just breaking down of all the events and certain spendings that we've had. So O-Week costs was roughly $406. It was a bit lower than last year's, which was $420 roughly. Most of the costs was mostly from the printing and material costs. And then our T1 barbecue costs, as always, kept below $50 and gave us, as you see there, some profits. The Archsoc t-shirts did make a loss of roughly $208, but dropped our balance down significantly. And then further executive dinners, and obviously our hoodie release made a pretty big profit, bring us back to roughly $700. And then the inter-uni design competition made an even bigger profit of roughly $600. And then some ARC reimbursements, and then obviously the Zoom membership for the AGM. Next page. So in going off what I said before about explaining how we made profit from the inter-uni, so we had some leftover funds in a previous existing account from, I think, past presidents and our past account, which totaled roughly $3,000. And due to the fact that we cannot directly withdraw that money from that account, we decided to use some of this money as I guess spendings for our prizes for the inter-uni competition, and got the other societies to reimburse us for what we spent, and therefore, I guess in a roundabout way, we were able to receive the money there. And then in going on with our lectures and workshops, there would be a pretty reasonable source of income, with the workshops income being roughly $160 and lecture income being roughly $70, assuming that the art grants have been approved. O-Week spending was slightly lower this year, and obviously due to COVID-19, most of our original in-person events were moved online. So some of these events where there would be spendings were obviously nil. And then the final balance this year was significantly higher than last year, with, as you can see there, $1,300 over the $800 something dollars, just a bit under half. So pretty good increase. In the next page, just some suggestions for 2021. Obviously, heads up that transactions can get messy if you kind of cross over the years, and it'll be important, obviously, to not do that, and also to ensure that all these transactions are done on an event basis. So you have to make sure that every transaction you're doing are in order of events. Hoodies were one of the most popular merchandise, so obviously continuing with that as our merch line would be important. Lack of engagement with the Archsoc teachers also because of the COVID situation, and also not COVID situation. I think the president's already explained why, and we need to find alternatives for printing costs for a week. We spent over $100 in printing, so probably cheaper alternatives. And another type of spending that was quite significant was on materials, and namely the acrylic for the printing. So maybe finding discounts on the materials would be important. And then in following with last year's suggestion, making sure that our costs for the barbecue were below $50. And yeah, perhaps more more merchandisers could see some nice increase in profits. Next page. Is there a next page?
No.
Yep.
That's it. Thank you, Jackie. So yes, we made a profit this year, which is
Thank you
fantastic.
so much, Jackie.
All good.
Jackie, great work. So constitutional amendments. Part of the AGM is any changes that we have to make to our constitution, and those have to be voted on. So this is why we require all of you to have your cameras on. What's going to happen is there are 4 changes that we need to make. I will read them out to you and what the change is and explain why that's important. And then when I ask you to vote, if you are voting for it, I'd like you to put, is it possible to put a hand up in Zoom? Is that a thing?
Just like put your hand up on your video.
Okay, so put your hand up on your video. We will count that. So Celine and Gray, just to double check, we'll have 2 people counting. Once you finish counting, let us know, and then you can put your hands down and we'll move on to the next one. Fantastic. Yeah. And there must be a majority of over 50 to pass, but I hope that you all help us out in changing our constitution. This can be an easy process. So change number 1, and these changes as well, mainly kind of grammatical things that have come as suggestions from ARC. So there's nothing really major that we're changing this year. They told us that we need to affiliate with ARC, not to ARC, and that is just in terms of how the relationship works, the change that they are making. So do we all vote? If you vote yes, please raise your hand now.
I think that's everyone.
32 out of 32?
No.
No?
There's some people with their cameras off.
Are you guys able to turn your cameras on and raise your hand? Or if not, if that's not a possibility, to type in the chat how you vote, for or against? Because we do need everyone who is here to vote with us tonight.
Gray, if you've finished counting, you can just tell everyone to put their hands down, because I'm just kind of skimming through.
All right, yes, we're good.
Okay.
Great, so we're good for this one?
Yep.
Cool, number 2. So obviously, with the change in trimesters, we have to update our constitution to reflect that. So we did not have that reflected correctly. So an academic day shall mean a day during the 3 terms of the university's academic calendar year, which is not a Saturday, Sunday, public holiday, or university holiday. So if you vote for, could you please raise your hand?
Yep, all good, majority. Thank you.
Fantastic. Amendment 03. So, a position that was added last year was the grievance officer, and there were a whole bunch of extra amendments that we had to make last year. However, there was one which we unfortunately did not add. So this is talking about the maintenance and review policies and procedures of the club, including its grievance resolution policy and procedure. So that is something that we were working on and creating and have had to add into this constitution. So if you agree, could you please raise your hand?
Yes, good. All good.
Fantastic. And last one, obviously updating for the future. Nobody writes handwritten notes anymore. So we would like to change that to attend art club's general meetings or nominate a fellow club member to attend on your behalf or send apologies taking the form of an email and not a written note detailing your name, club and date of the meeting that you cannot attend. So if you are for the future, please raise your hand if you're voting for.
Yes, okay.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. So now the boring part is done. We're going to move on to the executive speeches for the 2021 team. Before we get that started, I just wanted to remind everyone who has joined us a little bit later to sign in on the Zoom chat with your name, your ZID, and your username, just so that we can send you a code, a unique ID, which will allow you to have a valid vote for your executives for next year. Now, what we'll be doing is giving each candidate a minute to a minute and a half speech to share with us why they think that they're suitable for the nominated positions. Some positions will be up against several people, and some we only have one person running for. But in any case, we would need you to have a valid vote to vote them in. They win by majority, so please choose carefully. All right, so let's begin. For the candidates, we have ordered you just go when you see your name and your face on the PowerPoint. Thanks.
I guess spoilers. Hey everyone, my name's William, or you can just call me Will, and I'm running for the co-president position, and I believe that I'm suited for it because of two main things. The one is the vision I have for the Archsoc, and for everyone here is very similar to what the past presidents have had, and it's really just looking to build on what they've established as a platform that create a more wide-reaching community for everyone, for you to learn, develop your own architectural skills and interest in architecture. But I guess the main difference is it's also trying to expand architecture to not just architectural students, but anyone that's interested in architecture, your friends, family, and let them have an understanding of what you and as an architecture student is like, what you do, and why it's interesting. And then the second thing is my own leadership skills. So I have extensive experience leading a big group throughout the last years of high school to the beginning of uni, and I feel that my own leadership and communication skills will be of great benefit in guiding this vision. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, William. Is Carson here?
Yes, I'm here. Hi guys, I'm Carson Kwok, a second year student in 2021. Despite having joined Archsoc for a little less than a year's time, the passion and the inclusiveness of the team made me really want to contribute more to the society as a whole and help it grow. I've heard the story of how Celine and Jared has brought the society back from the brink of obscurity, and I think it's actually like genuinely like pretty awesome and pretty inspiring to see how you managed to achieve this. Like, thus, this concept of inheritance came to my mind. Like, who would inherit the legacy of the hard work laid out by the previous year's executive team? And I may not be the most experienced or qualified person out there, but I am eager to be part of the new branch that continues the good work that the previous years has laid out for. And if you vote for me as the president, I promise I will, for the co-presidents, I promise I will utilize my organization skill to the best of my ability and join our future executive team in recreating or even surpassing the achievement and success we have this year. Thank you.
Thanks, Justin. And next, Jean.
Hi, so I'm Jean, second year as well this year, and obviously I'm waiting for the co-presidential position as well. I guess what I'd like to say is that, like, just yesterday I had a conversation with a student, like a peer student of mine, and we talked about Archsoc, and she was talking about, you know, why do people join societies, and that for her, she thinks that as architecture students we're so busy all the time, and she just feels like she'd never join societies because it takes away from her. And I feel like that mindset of societies taking away from people rather than giving is such a misconception that as a society we just, you know, can't afford to have. And I guess going forward, you know, in the interview that I had with Celine and Jared the other time, they asked us to describe our personalities in 3 words. And I guess for you guys who don't know me yet, I'd like to describe it as very energetic, bubbly and lively, as well as hardworking and driven. But I think with the first 3, in going for this position, I think I would definitely try to work with what Celine had talked about in student numbers and student engagement. And I think it's really important going forward to make sure that the society not only preserves and protects what we already achieved in the last 2 years, but advances and grows even further going forward. And, you know, I think that what differentiates superficial engagement and like real engagement is just personality. So I think by sharing a little bit of my liveliness with the society, I'd like to, I guess, engage more people going forward. Obviously, the role of the president is to oversee the society as a whole and make sure that the future trajectory is positive. You know, I may not be the best, again, person or media marketing, but that's a different position. I'm sure they'll do a very good job of that. But as a president, I guess I would definitely try to make sure that the society not only continues, but definitely thrives going forward. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jean. Just for future reference, if anyone goes over the 1.5-minute mark, Jono and Gray, they're gonna ring an alarm just to let you know that you've gone over time. All right, so Em, please.
Hi guys, so my name is Emily and I'm currently a first year doing my Masters of Architecture. So as you know, so I just want to talk a bit about myself. So in 2019, I joined Archsoc as a subcom member with my role as BESA delegate, where I was responsible for liaising between BESA and Archsoc. So that was really my introduction to, you know, what Archsoc was like. And I really liked the team dynamic. And that was also the time where Archsoc was growing. And I saw a lot of potential in this society. And this year, I was moved into the External Relations Officer, where, you know, I sourced sponsors for goodie packs for O Week, including like Migering, Red Bull, ThinkBrick, Student VIP. I sourced speakers for our guest lectures, including ThinkBrick, Cox Architecture, and more industry talks. I coordinated with the media and marketing team to schedule like posts and promo for our society, manage my own subcom team, and you know, I also took on extra roles such as, you know, taking meeting minutes when you know, our secretary couldn't make the meeting. So yeah, I want to apply for secretary because I see the role of secretary as one of like the backbones of society. You know, just making sure everything is in order from the Google Drive, replying to people on time. So, and especially since there's such a big turnover this year, I just think it's great to have someone who knows society as well as I do to take on this role or help with the handover.
Excuse me, time's up.
Yep. Vote me.
Nice.
Right. So hi, it's me. I'm Carson Kwon, and I will be a second year student in 2021. And truth be told, when I first heard of the position of secretary, right, I only thought of it as just a position that do the minutes at the meeting, right? But it turns out that I was so wrong. Like the role of a secretary is more than just making minutes. They are actually one of the key components that keep the society running. Like they help each branch of the society to communicate and as well as dealing with all the miscellaneous issues. Then you may ask, what makes me qualified to shoulder the weight of this position? While it's true that other applicants may be more experienced in working with Archsoc, I firmly believe my sense of duty and organization, as well as my easygoing attitude, will aid me significantly in this role. If you vote for me to be the secretary, I promise I will fulfill my duty as the bridge between different teams within Archsoc and smooth the operation of our society. Thank you.
Thank you, Carson. And Renee?
Hi, I'm Renee for those who don't know me, and I'm hoping to be marketing director. Well, so far, I think that having experience as second year rep and working with Remo has been really informative and inspirational as to how he goes about delegating work and marketing Archsoc, and I hope that in the future that I can follow his footsteps as well as engage the entire architecture society across all years as well as within cohorts, because I think Archsoc really needs a bit of personality. Not saying there isn't right now, but having it's very workshop based right now, and I hope to bring a bit more liveliness and more engagement throughout. So yeah, please vote for me.
Thank you, Renee. And moving on to the media directors. So if everyone could move over to Alexander's window, we've asked for him to present a poster that he has done to aid your decision in voting. So Alex, take it away.
So hi, I'm Alex. I'm a first year civil with architecture student, and I hope to be your media director for 2021. One of the most important parts about any society is how it presents itself to the wider community and how it can engage the student body with events and initiatives. I hope that I can meet these goals as well as generally give back to the overall Archsoc committee and community in this role. I hope to do this firstly by increasing the inclusivity of visual design for this role. I believe by focusing on the current events that focus on Photoshop, Illustrator, and other visual editing software is a really easy way to help increase inclusivity, to reduce the barriers for roles such as a media subcommittee member, as well as generally spice up parts of your degree, such as making panels and making reports. Secondly, I also hope to focus on more video-based marketing. In my time as part of the SEVSOC marketing subcommittee, I've seen that video-based marketing really works in terms of engaging the student body, and it also provides a lot more variety in terms of your marketing. And so I hope to fuse video-based marketing plus my unique style plus Archsoc's current aesthetic, as shown by my picture here, in order to be the spark to light the flame of creativity and innovation that can help Archsoc grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Now if we move on to Narissa's window. She has hers up there. Go ahead.
Okay, hi, my name is Nursa and I'm currently a second year student. I believe I'll be the perfect candidate for the position as I believe I am a very creative person. Within my time in the degree, bringing my visualizations to life and making panels and renders have been one of my favorite parts of the courses. I understand that the most vital part of being the media director is creating content that is visually engaging, as it is what grabs people's attention. And I believe I can produce and deliver clear and consistent captivating designs. Aside from generating aesthetic and eye-catching illustrations, I'm also well-versed in my memes. As aside from visually appealing posters, humor will always be the best way to relate with other students and create a good laugh when we are suffering from the pain of this degree. Pulling all-nighters and having fun. I have albums of memes categorized on my phone, ranging from COVID memes to animals and predicaments. So I believe I can bring a bit of the fun to the visual aesthetics of all the posters. Also, outside my time of uni, I spend time watching YouTube videos about architectural rendering. So I will always be striving for my best. And I was always maintaining frequent and clear communication with my peers. And I'm always happy to receive feedback on how I can improve and engage with our audience. And if given the opportunity to do so, I believe I'll try my best and create content that is engaging and visually appealing. Thank you.
Thank you. I rate those Kermit memes.
Yes,
I love
if you
Kermit.
look at my screen, they're in my background.
No bias. All right, moving on. So if we switch back to the screen share.
So, hi, it's me again, Carson Kwon, and I will be a second year student in 2021. And before we dive into what I'm capable of, I would like to talk about the reason that I'm running for this role. So the story begins with my mate David, right? So he too is a fresh first year like us, and yet he is already the events director for this year. Like, this is definitely, first of all, this is not a love letter, but like I genuinely think that he is inspiring. He is a chat for having to deal with all the new environment and this new job simultaneously. So I thought to myself, I should be like him more. So therefore, like, I do have quite a lot of qualities that qualify me for this role. For starters, I'm the type of team player that keeps checking on my team's progress. So all the work allocated will be scheduled and checked punctually. I also have a few interesting ideas for events, such as modeling workshop and an architecture student hacks workshop. So if you vote for me to be the events director, I promise I will utilize the best of my organization skill and creativity to promote a fun time at uni. Thank you.
Thank you, Carson. And now over to you, David.
Hey guys. Sorry, my mic might be cutting off. Hello? Is my mic working?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, yeah. So this year as a first year student, I had the pleasure of working as the events director. I think most importantly to me, being that kid who always wanted to be an architect, society has given me a lot in my first year. And I think during a time of transition into a new environment, I was able to surround myself with mentors and people who inspired me, but most importantly, like friends that I got to know and connect with in the past year. So now, as in having the foresight of having done the new first year architecture courses and also knowing the importance that seniors can have on younger students, I want to be that person next year, part of Archsoc that can inspire the young students and kind of change the workshops to kind of be a mentor figure to those new kids that come in. And hopefully together with the new executive team and subcommittee, I can kind of plan and create events that connect people in our faculty and foster a kind of positive studio culture. Because being an architect to me has always been about creating communities and connections for people and not necessarily, going all out with the buildings and forms.
Awesome. Thank you, David. For those who don't know, he's the current events director. And over to you, Sophie.
Hi guys, I'm Sophie. I'm a second year architecture student as well, and I'm running for ARC delegate because I have previous experience working with ARC and believe I can foster a really good relationship between our society and ARC, who provides us with a bit of funding for our events. So I have experience with ARC because I I'm part of the basketball club and go to a college, and we get all our funding from ARC, and fostering a good relationship with them and making sure we log our attendance at every meeting we have is super important. And I'll make sure I keep on top of that, and to like ensure we get as much money and have a good connection with ARC, because they also do printing as well, so we can probably get cheap printing. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. And also she's running for the treasurer position.
Yeah, so I'm running for treasurer and ARC delegate at the same time because I feel like they're pretty connected roles. I think I'd be a really good treasurer for Archsoc because I'm quite organised, good at budgeting and time management, and believe that we can continue this upward trend of making income for the club so we can spend that money on really positive events. And I think collaboration with BESA and like other societies can allow us to have really good events to activate more engagement in the club. I have experience as treasurer of the Inter-Residential College Sports Association, so dealing with large amounts of money and budgeting, something I can do. And I think that boosting membership is a key thing we can work on for 2021. I think it should be that if you study architecture at UNSW, you're also automatically a member of Archsoc. Like they should go hand in hand. It shouldn't just be that a minority of us are part of the society. It should be everyone is. Yeah, so vote for me for treasurer.
Awesome, thank you, Sophie. And over to you, Michelle.
Hi, everybody. So I'm probably older than everybody there. But what I wanted to say is that it's always been a wish of mine to give back to societies and to most things that I've become a part of, whether it is sport or a hobby, or in this case, my degree. For example, I do karate, and when I first started, I decided that I really wanted to contribute. So I became a karate teacher, and I volunteered as a teacher, and I went into schools and I taught after school. And then I was asked to be on the committee, and then I was on the national committee and then the international committee. So I try as much as possible to give back. With each role I've taken on, it's been different depending on what was needed. I love the idea that when my role is over, I have contributed to a change for the positive, and that hopefully others will benefit from that as well. I've today put my name forward for the role of grievance officer, which I think as a mum makes me possibly overqualified. Through my family life, my past work experience as a practice manager and as a business owner and as a teacher, I feel that I've had experience in this role, both in directly dealing with conflict, but also in my communication skills. So I look forward to hopefully meeting you all in person next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Before we get into voting, I would just want to open this to the floor. If anyone has come to our AGM wanting to run for a position, please speak up now. Otherwise, we will go into the voting. All right. If you could please, one last time, if you haven't already signed in on our chat, please do so now. And everyone by now should have received a code from Ben, and this is a code that starts with the letters AGM. This will be essential to add to your ballot. So if you would please scan the QR code on the PowerPoint. Can someone please send it on the chat, the link? If you...
Hey Celine, I think you missed me for the external
oh, right, Alvin, yeah. That's right. I don't know why you were not in the PowerPoint. Okay, if everyone could scooch over to Alvin's window. So sorry about that, Alvin.
It's all good.
So if you could tell everyone what position you're running for as well.
Okay, yeah. So I'm running for the External Relations Officer. And okay, My name's Alvin, and I just started my master's at UNSW. For the last year and a half, I've been running a social media platform on Instagram called Projects by People. One of the most common things I've constantly heard from people in the community is that one of their biggest regrets at university was not building a personal or professional network. And, you know, I did an awful job at that during my bachelor's and had to work really, really hard to make up for it. But, you know, thanks to my platform, I've been able to connect with so many incredible people virtually and in person. So this year I co-founded the Mad Collective with some really, really brilliant people, and we run online symposiums every month. It's actually pretty funny because I think, so we had Arturo Tedeschi on as a guest, and I think he was a speaker at the latest Cox lecture. But yeah, I won't drop any more names. We've had some pretty cool guests on. In person, I've been working closely with Sona Queensland. Right now, I'm working on a video series with them that involves me working directly with practices. On top of all that, I've also been working on a career advice series where I interview professionals to give students insight into what they can expect after graduating, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, all these things revolve around reaching out to people that I've never met before and basically asking them for something. So yeah, I've learned a lot through this process, and I think I'm really comfortable reaching out to professionals in that way, organizations, anyone really. And yeah, I'm really passionate about connecting with people. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Alvin. So sorry about the mix-up. Okay, so the link for the ballot has been sent on the chat. Please enter in your ID into the chat. If you have any questions, let us know and we'll resolve it for you. But make sure to enter in that code incorrectly and think carefully about who you'll be voting for, and we will come back in 5 minutes.
Celine, sorry, I didn't get a code.
Ben.
Michelle, hi. I should have sent you the code. Yeah, it's in your private messages, maybe. Do you want me to? Yeah, on Zoom. Yeah, I DM'd you privately twice.
Ah, okay.
Do you see it?
I haven't found it yet. I'm looking at everything.
I can send it to you on Messenger.
Do you mind sending me?
Yeah, no worries.
That'd be great.
William, if the link, as well, isn't working, you can also scan that QR code on your phone and it should pop up. And just so everyone knows as well, for every position you only choose one person, except for presidents where you choose two.
I've tried both, but it's just loading and then says takes too long to load.
Really? Right.
I'm having the same problem as well.
Is anyone, okay, so we've got two people that problem's worked for me. Has anyone else got that issue as well?
I'm having the issue here as well.
Interesting.
I somehow made it in. I don't know.
Could it be that there's too many people all at the same time?
Trying to access the form. There shouldn't be a problem. Is this the code? Wait, I just sent one on Messenger. Can someone try that link? Does that link work? Otherwise,
yeah, it works for me.
Could you send that link on the Zoom chat as well? Sorry, because I don't have it on my iPad. Can someone send the link on Zoom, please? Can everyone please try that link? Does that work?
Works for me.
Oh, it's not an Archsoc event if there aren't technical issues. So
Plastic. It could be because there's too many people.
I'm sorry, Lachlan, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, hi. Just in regards to your code, I should have sent it to you privately.
Yes, I received. Thank
You
you very
received it? All right, sweet.
All right, bye.
Anyone else having a problem with the B form? Hmm. If you're unable to get the link working, could you message us privately on Facebook your choices for your ballot, just so that we can at least get a response if you're unable to. So I'll send a link to message us on Facebook.
If it's not working, just try refreshing it or entering it again. Maybe as people finish, it'll allow more people in. So give that a try as well. But so far we have 28 responses out of 32, so we're almost there. We'll give you guys another few minutes.
Do you mind sending me a 4-digit number? It's 5 when you get.
Oh yeah, it's yeah, the 5-digit code should work as well, Michelle.
Oh, it won't.
Don't put in the first three
Okay, cool.
first 3 letters, yeah.
Got it.
I'm sorry, Jerome, are you there? So just
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. Maybe chat with him because it doesn't seem like he has a microphone.
yeah, so just to clarify, you need to sign in first into the Zoom group chat into the Zoom group chat so that I can give you a code. So I do need your name, username, and ZID.
Once Jerome votes, then it will be complete because we will have, there's 30 of us and he will be the 30th person. There's 29 responses, so that's really good, guys.
Mine's...
Wait, I still haven't voted.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, really?
If you could both just DM like the Architecture Society page for Gray, or maybe just DM Gray.
Okay.
Thanks, Adim.
DM Gray.
Also, once you have voted, please don't vote again. We will not count duplicate votes. They will be disqualified. We will know who you are, so please don't do that.
So we currently have 2 people that submitted duplicates, 3 people that submitted duplicates. So we're waiting on 3 more responses. All right, fellas, we are about to conclude. We're just tallying up the final numbers. And deleting the duplicates. So just give us one moment.
Thank you for your patience, everyone. We hope you're enjoying this elevator music in the meantime.
Alrighty. 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 I think all right. We are ready for you. Can I have a drum roll, please?
Celine, before you start that as well, I'd just like to preface before we announce the voting. Firstly, thank you to everyone who applied. We really, really do appreciate it. We see that all of you really have the passion and the interest to continue the society and really give back and do your best. So we really appreciate that. And remember, firstly for us, we were actually genuinely surprised at how many people were interested in having an executive role. So we really appreciate that. So just remember though, if you don't get into a position or the position that you wanted, you can still be a part of the subcommittee, and we would definitely advise trying to apply for that and still being a part of the team. So don't worry if you don't get a position, but without further ado.
All right, I'll do my lame drum roll by myself. All right, so for your co-presidents for 2021 is William and Jean. Woo! Woo! Congratulations, you two. So Will got 22 votes, Jean 26, and Carson 2 votes. I will be announcing the numbers for each candidate because we need to record this in the minutes. And our secretary is M, winning with 28 votes. And Carson with 2 votes. Arc delegate and treasurer position goes without saying. Everyone has voted for Sophie. And for marketing director as well, Renee. For the media director position, we have for 2021, Narissa, winning by 23 votes, and Alex by 7. And we have for events director, David with 26 votes, and Carson with 4 votes. Yay! And also goes without saying, external relations goes to Alvin, and grievance officer to Michelle. Yay!
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations, everybody.
Right, so. Welcome to the Archsoc team. That's it. Well done.
And just a little PSA, if you didn't win tonight, you're still more than welcome to join as a subcommittee member for the new team, because you know, almost every position that's being held, we always need help, and also keeping in mind that the architecture degree is very time consuming. Yeah, it's always good to have, you know, people who are willing to contribute to the team and the society and the community. So yeah, feel free to join as a subcommittee member. Also, ARC has changed their policies, and now not only do executive members get accreditation from the university, also subcommittee members for 2021 get recognition as well. So don't be shy to volunteer to help us out a little bit.
So what happens from this point onwards is the rest of the term will be a transition period, a handover period, where we will work in conjunction with the new team to get them up to speed on how we operate and get them working with us. But for now, Jean and William, if you guys have any quick words that you'd like to say.
Putting you guys on the spot here.
Who wants to go first?
Will, you want to go first?
No, you go.
Okay. First of all, thanks obviously for everyone that voted. I think for both Will and I think going forward, what I'd hope to achieve, and I think what we do a very good job of, being a really young society. I think I like listening to Will's propositions as well. I think we try to be really engaging, especially in tough times like COVID like this, just being really flexible. Obviously, it's important to give really good content and educational content, but again, like it's really important for us to appeal so that people can actually enjoy the content, because without appealing, obviously no one's going to appreciate the content we give. And so again, I agree, the more hands the better, and so if everyone contributes, that'd be really good, and you know, help Will and I both. So yeah, Will.
Yay!
So just on top of that, yeah, so I want to thank the past exec team as well, and their efforts in building such a great platform for all of us. It's going to make our jobs, I think, so much easier than it would have been when you picked it up. So thanks to you guys and all your efforts, and just want everyone to really enjoy what's going to come for the future year, I guess, and what we're going to try to achieve. So putting it out there, if I can help with anything, feel free to just DM me, and I'll see what I sort of like, any information or anything I can give you to help make your time in UNSW architecture much easier. Yeah.
Also touching, I love that.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So that technically we are no longer the co-presidents as of this moment.
And that is a wrap up.
That's a big wrap.
Most of our exec team has been in the society for 2 years, and it has been a challenging time for everybody, especially with COVID. But I think really a big thanks to everyone who's made everything possible. You know, we started out with only me turning up to the AGM in 2019, the single person running for the whole committee, but here we are, and it really brings a tear to my eye to see that we've done and achieved something in our time in university. So yeah, looking forward to see what the new team does.
Absolutely. And look, I just want to say again, a huge thank you to our team and everyone coming on board. It was really quite fun, you know, last year when I kind of hopped on board, Celine kind of dragged me in, desperately needing an ARC delegate. But it has been very fun to then progress to co-pres this year, working with you, Celine. We definitely keep each other on our toes, making sure
definitely.
that the ball is rolling as much as possible when we're not dying from studio. So I guess specifically to William and Jean, both of you, good luck. We definitely trust you guys, and we hope that you have a lot of fun. But also to my team, thank you to all my friends who I got to come on board as well over the past year.
Hey.
It's been loads of fun, and I hope it has for you guys too. Yeah, it's a weird feeling, you know, because we're graduating at the same time and all this is happening, but that's it. And at least we can sleep soundly knowing that we're going to be passing on to some incredible people. So all to the future.
Jono, you had something to say?
Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to hold back my tears.
Anyway, to get some admin stuff out of the way, after this AGM, we will be passing around, this is for the new team, but we will be emailing the handover form. So that needs to be filled up and signed so that ARC officially recognizes you as the new team. And also we have scheduled a training because that is essential for handover, and that would be run by me. And if it is possible to have, when did we schedule it, Gray? Was it Friday?
This Friday, yes, Friday the 30th. At I think 7.
Wait, can you check, please?
Yes, I'll check. So cool.
Wait. So yes, we're gonna email you guys and we'll ask if you're available at this time. But we're telling you now as well. So if you are available this Friday evening, and that's when both of our teams will be on a Zoom together. We'll give you kind of the training, and then we'll discuss how to move further for the last few weeks of term as well. we'll be doing that all there.
Yeah. But yeah, just so just as Jared said, please RSVP with us because this training is really, really important. We will be passing you on our wealth of knowledge and some basic problem solving skills to next year, and I guess all our contacts and admin stuff, and it'll be really fun. I put a lot of love and care into the training, so I hope to see you all there.
But after this, we will send some emails out like very soon tonight, and so if you reply there, that'll be a good place to RSVP. So just hang tight for those.
All right, and I think that's all from us.
That's it. So thank you everyone for attending the AGM. Thank you everyone for voting, doing your part in being a part of your society. Thank you again to everyone who went for a position, and well done to everyone who won a position. Yeah, that's it. We can all go home now.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
Bye.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Good night.
Can we have
Good
more
night,
elevator music?
Oh, yeah, okay, fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good
We'll
vibe.
do, until 9:30, we'll do elevator music.
6 minutes of solid elevator music. Let's go.
That's how we're going to leave you guys. We're going to calm you down into the next year's executives. Let's go, Celine.
Where's the music?
Where's the music? Where's the promised
if Jared
music?
ends the call, then everyone's just yeeted out. So.
Jared, you're stuck in our
Jared doesn't want to be the party pooper, right? You don't want to be the party pooper.
Have I ever been a party pooper, Celine? Hey, that's how you get shit done. But our last official or unofficial act is to play elevator music for the masses.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Wait, I have like unfinished posters. Does that mean I can like push them onto Narissa now?
Throw them in the bin.
Hand them over.
Hand